there's a slightly eccentric society, at least it used to be eccentric, I think it still exists, it's quite just ironic now rather than eccentric, called the Flat Earth Society. And up until comparatively recently, the society was genuinely of the belief that the Earth was not a sphere, it was a flat disc, rather like Discworld from Terry Pratchett novels. And the slogan of the Flat Earth Society, which I think still features on their masthead, to the extent they have a masthead, is "In your heart you know it's flat." In your heart you know it's flat. It's a great phrase that, I really like that phrase, for a number of reasons. But it's got me wondering, I'm just wondering if, in a sense, they're onto something there. And clearly the Earth is not flat. It's, we do live on the surface of a ball, and I'm walking through that ball right now. Okay, I have to pause that for some minutes there because my dog is about to take a fight with a Labrador. So we're back onto the Flat Earth Society and their masthead being, "In your heart you know it's flat." And I'm just wondering whether they're onto something there in a strange sort of way. Of course the Earth isn't flat, we've seen pictures of it from space. We all are very familiar with the idea we live on a ball, we understand why Australians don't fall off the edge, that kind of thing. But this phrase, "in your heart you know it's flat," could be interpreted as a different way of thinking about it. In my conscious rational mind, I know it's spherical, more or less. But in my heart, and by heart I mean some intuitive, rudimentary, heuristic-driven, adaptive, evolutionarily useful, affordance-driven way. I'm not living on a flat Earth. When I look out on along the salt line, I'm on the salt line again, this old disused railway line. When I look out, I don't see that I'm on the ball. Everywhere I look, apart from the rising and falling of the hills, and given that I live in Cheshire, there's not an awful lot of those, I appear to be living on a relatively flat surface. And regardless of the fact that I know in my mind that it's a ball, nothing about my current experience or any experience that I have had directly has supported the idea that I'm on a ball. To the contrary, every experience that I've had so far, including even flying in an aeroplane, which is a little bit should give one a little bit of a global perspective or a spherical perspective. Even that hasn't really. I still feel like I'm flying across the top of a big disc, and it's a disc that I always seem to be at the centre of. So, as part of the phenomenology of my space, if you like, that's the right word, it seems not beyond the bounds of possibility that my intuition is telling me that it's flat, along with the very other properties of phenomenal space, such that, it changes its property according to whether it's in the grip of my hand or not. It's a space in which objects diminish as they approach the horizon, a space which has an horizon, and so on. Phenomenal space, but it's possibly flat. Where this is going, I think, is to do with that aphorism that we find in material to do with embodied knowledge, which says something to the effect that knowledge is embedded. I beg your pardon. Knowledge is embodied and the body is embedded. So this idea that knowledge always emerges out of the affordances and the biological fact of the body, but the body itself emerges out of the affordances and the biological and ecological, indeed, fact of the environment. But part of that environment is undoubtedly its phenomenal nature, and part of its phenomenal nature is that it seems to be flat. So, to the extent that some of my knowledge is embodied, not some of it, to the extent that my knowledge is embodied, then there must be a shaping of that knowledge to do with the flatness of the earth.